I was drinking my black coffee when the email arrived. The kind of coffee that burns your tongue if you wait too long. Hi, Dad. Quick note about the wedding seating. We've made arrangements for Mike to sit up front with Mom. I know it's awkward, but would you mind taking a different table? A different table? As if I were a different kind of father. Not absent, just optional. I didn't answer right away. I just stared at those words as the morning sun moved across the floor, cutting the kitchen in two. Just like everything else lately. I scrolled up and saw the earlier emails, the RSVP form, the logistics, the "we're so excited to celebrate with you" lie. Everything had already been decided. I wasn't invited. I was being managed. A loose end, tied up with polite, distant words. I clicked decline. Then I opened a new browser tab and booked a flight. Somewhere far, somewhere selfish, somewhere I didn't have to pretend. 3 days later, I got another message. This one was from my ex-wife. No greeting, just, "You always find a way to make everything about you." That's when I knew something was really wrong, something deeper. And it wasn't about the wedding. At first, I thought it was just pettiness. A power play from her way of rewriting history now that Mike had stepped in as the father she always claimed I couldn't be. But it wasn't just the seating, it was her tone. That email wasn't defensive, it was afraid. Our son hadn't sent any follow-up, no apology, no explanation, just silence. And I had raised him better than that. I started remembering little things I'd ignored before, always little things. The first time he introduced me to Mike. How quickly they shook hands. No depth, like strangers. How fast my ex-wife changed the subject. Then there was Thanksgiving 3 years ago. He brought cheap wine. When I asked why he didn't bring the bottle I gave him for Christmas, he said, didn't want to open something so expensive. But 2 weeks later, I saw that same bottle, half empty, in Mike's cabinet. I laughed it off back then. Just a coincidence. But coincidences don't just stack up, they build walls. The DNA test kit came in a plain box. They all do. As if shame needs to be gift-wrapped. I kept it in my desk for 2 days, touched it, opened it, closed it, thought about burning it. Then I swabbed. Last year, for Father's Day, he gave me a shaving kit. Inside was one of his old razors, used. Still had his DNA on it. I never threw it away. Couldn't say why back then. Now I know. It took 2 weeks. I lived normally, smiled at strangers, drank coffee, read the paper. Dead inside, I stopped answering calls, especially his, especially hers. I needed the truth, not their version, not a story polished by years of excuses, just numbers. During that time, I replayed memories, his first steps, his graduation. That night, he called me drunk and said, "You're the only one I can really talk to." What a cruel thing to say to someone you're lying to. I opened the results the second they hit my inbox. 4 words. Probability of paternity, 0.00%. 0. Not unlikely. 0. I didn't confront him. Not yet. I printed the report, put it in a manila envelope, and slipped it into a wedding gift box. No card. I mailed it to him overnight. 2 days later, he called. I didn't answer. He called again, then texted, then emailed. What is this? Is this some kind of joke? No reply. That night, there was a knock at my door. It was him, eyes bloodshot, holding the envelope like it was radioactive. I let him in. Offered coffee. He didn't want any. He dropped the envelope on the table. "Where did you get this?" I just stared. "It's not true," he said, his voice breaking. "You got the razor from the kit," I said quietly. His lips parted, but no sound came out. "I always knew you weren't mine," I added. "I just needed to be sure you knew too." He collapsed into a chair. No anger, just weight. Shame. "I didn't know until last year," he whispered. "But she did," I said. He nodded. "Why didn't you tell me?" He blinked. "Because I didn't want to lose you." That was the moment I understood. He still wanted me to be his father. just not in front of the cameras, not when it counted. He wanted my presence, not my place. I stood, walked to my desk, and picked up the RSVP card he'd sent me. I handed it to him. "You were right to seat me at a different table," I said. "But next time, don't send an invitation you don't mean." He opened his mouth to protest, but I was already walking away. I didn't go to the wedding, didn't watch the live stream, didn't read the text that followed. I took the trip, spent the money, sat in silence at the edge of a cliff, watching the ocean thrash against the rocks below. I left my phone in the hotel safe, didn't touch it, didn't need to. They both said they loved me. But love that hides the truth is just control in disguise. When I got home, the house was exactly as I'd left it, only quieter, lighter, as if a lie had moved out. I poured a drink and looked out the window. The sky was clear. I raised my glass to the silence and whispered, "Here's to honesty, even if it's too late."